Hello and welcome to this vlog with me, Xenovids. And in this vlog I'm going to be just doing a channel ramble and talk about general things and bits and bobs of what's been happening in the 40k universe and within my battle league that we've been doing and my own models. So, the channel is getting 1 to 2 new subscribers a day, which is great. The ball is starting to roll slowly, but I'm trying to think of ways how to make this tiny snowball turn into a big avalanche so that my channel can get out there. I'm posting on Mini Wargaming, which is great that they let you do that, and I'm posting it where I can, my videos. I'm just thinking, what can I do to make my channel more appealing? What does it take to get your attention? Is it the battle reports? And if it is the battle reports, is it the variety of armies? Is it the length of the battle report? So would you rather watch an hour to 2 hour long battle report in one stint, or would you like it in different parts so you can watch them when and wherever you really want to, so it's more convenient for you? Is it more content a week? Do you like watching vlogs? Do you want painting tutorials? Do you want just general chats and discussion? Do you want me to talk with the person I do my battle league with and just sit down and chat about general things? Or again, is it more and more battle reports? 1 or 2 a week? What is it that makes you go onto a channel and think, do you know what, I want to watch that person for a while and watch their content? So just let me know. Leave a comment below and I will try and make some changes for you. Okay, so I want to talk about Imperial Knights now. If you don't know what Imperial Knights are, you've probably been away from the country, the internet, or been living under a rock, and you've just emerged and you've gone, hello, what's this? And you look up and you see a normal Riptide and a Dreadnought, and then you look up even further and then there's standing next to the Wraith Knight is this new Imperial Knight, and you're like, what is this? When did Space Marines get a Titan? Well, Imperial Knights coming out very, very shortly. Their codex comes out, I think, this weekend, which will be the... what day are we on? I think it comes out the 8th, possibly. Don't quote me on that. And the Knights should also be coming out then as well, unless they're already out. But the codex, I'm going to pop it up here. Now the codex, as you can see, is only £25. And what do you get for that? £25, you get a 64-page hardback, full colour book. Gives you the history and a little bit about it. Now, I thought Imperial Knights was just like an add-on, a new Titan that Space Marines could ally with or take. But they're getting their own codex. So essentially, this is a new army. So does it mean you can have other models? Is it going to have in the codex Troops Choice Guard, or Space Marines, or a Sisters of Saurus, which used to be Sisters of Battle? What's going to be happening? Or are they just going to be Imperial Knight HQ? 3 Imperial Knights as a troop, Imperial Knight as a heavy. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. But for £25, I think it's cheaper than some of the online edition of codexes, and it's definitely cheaper than the other codexes. It is about half or a quarter of the volume size. 64 pages is a lot for £25, but it's interesting, and I can't wait to see what they do. But the big thing I want to talk about now is the actual Imperial Knights. So, the Imperial Knights are £85 here in England, and at 6 inches tall, the Imperial Knight is a towering war engine. 6 inches tall. Let me get my tape measure. Through the magic of editing, I'm back. 6 inches. At 6 inches tall, Oh. Well, I take back what I said before then. If you are crawling out from underneath a rock, you won't be looking up past the Wraith Knight. I presumed it was going to be big. 6 inches. Smaller than my hand. The Wraith Knight is about that big. It's about the size of a riptide. About 85 pounds. Yeah, the model looks great though. Only 6 inches. I presumed it'd be bigger. So it's got great poses you can do, and I've seen a brilliant video by Rob Bear. I'll put a link in the description below for his video showing you it all assembled, and you can move things if you wanted to. So easy to do things like that and easy to assemble. It looks like it's got certain joints where you put them in and you twist and then they're locked in, but the joint can still move, which looks great. But what I want us to look at is this plastic kit contains 1 Imperial Knight and contains a staggering 147 components. Availability. This product is expected to dispatch in 1 to 2 weeks. So, we're having, again, a problem, like we did with the towel. Supply and demand. When you're in retail, you've got to think of supply and demand. Now, Games Workshop have been okay. I think pretty good actually. For however long I've collected them, what, 15, 16, almost 17 years. And now it's, in the last year, when did Tau come out? Last year? They've done 2 big muck-ups then. So the first one was Tau. Either they didn't realise how good Tau were going to be and everyone wanted to buy the new army, or they didn't realise how many players wanted to update their army and how many Tau players there actually were over the years. I think Tau came out in 2004, don't quote me on that, which would have meant 10 years, that codex. 9 years that codex. So there's going to be a lot of players liking Tau over those years. So either they were very, 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 very stupid, again with the Imperial Knights, because there's basically they don't have the models, enough models in yet, and that's what everyone on the internet is saying. Oh, you have to wait an extra 2 weeks for your order to come in. So either someone was very, very, very stupid, or someone was very, 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 very clever. Now, Nintendo had this same problem with their Wiis. What they did is they were like, right, world, there is an Xbox, there is a PlayStation, they're great, but that is for the hardcore gamers. These consoles are trying to be like PCs, and then there are also PC gamers. What we're going to do is make a console for you and your family, from young to old. So your 80-year-old grandma can play a bit of golf and 10-pin bowling, and so can your 6-year-old do a bit of tennis and play Mario Karts, and you can play Mario Karts with them, and you can also go and do Zelda for the nostalgic fanboys of Nintendo, and it was great, and everyone wanted a Wii. I remember our family wanted a Wii. I got my Xbox and I had PlayStation 2 at the time. PlayStation 2, I think, one of the greatest consoles. But my parents really wanted a Wii, and the price was good. I think it was half the price of an Xbox, maybe even better, but they wanted one. Could they get one? No. Because what Nintendo did, they show the world the Wii. Wow, ooh, a nunchuck and a thing, and you do everything like this, it's going to be great. And there's a Wii Fit, and you can do like Zumba stuff. No, you couldn't get one. So Nintendo were like, let's have this. And they sent some out, but kept stock back. And everyone was like, yes, I've got one. And then everyone else was like, no, I want one. It was hell for the retail outlets, you go to the shops in England like Argos and Tesco's, and they'd be like, and Game, and be like, and say, excuse me, do you have a wee in? And they say, sorry, no. Would you like to order one? I'll have a look. So they go to the Tesco's, they didn't have one. Argos didn't have one. As soon as someone did, it was like watching one of those old zombie movies, like the ones they have in America with the mall. And as soon as one zombie knows there's one, the big crowd descends onto you and tries to go, ah, wee, give me a wee. And that was how it was like. And then Nintendo sales went up, and then they waited a little bit, and they went up again, and waited a little bit, and sent out a few more, and went up, and steadily made loads and loads and loads and loads of money. The Wii U that they've got at the moment isn't making money, and Nintendo are now losing lots of money. But that's a different story. Could it be like that? With the fact that Imperial Knights, most of Games Workshop's demographic and customers are mostly Space Marine players. They try and push Space Marines for new younger players, and Space Marines have the most love, really. So many different chapters, and it's an Imperial Knight. It's an Imperial. It's not an Eldar Knight. It's not a Tyranid Knight. It's not an Orc Knight. It's an Imperial Knight. So Space Marines and Imperial Guard and the Imperial side of things get a lot of love. But you have to wait 2 weeks. Now, they're not going to go somewhere else and get it. They're going to still want it. If you've looked at that model like I have, and I really want one, I can't afford one, but I really want one, I'm going to go, right, I would like, I'll wait 2 weeks. It's annoying, but I'll wait 2 weeks. But then in those 2 weeks, I'm going to be thinking, right, someone on the internet has one, and they've done a painting tutorial, or what am I going to paint it, or read the codex a bit more, or things like that. So it could be really clever, or someone's mucked up again and really stupid. But personally, I think that Games Workshop didn't realise they so many people wanted one. But yeah, I mean, why would you want one? It's like a mini Titan. 6 hull points, awesome weapons. A bit 2 D weapons. Yeah, it comes close combat D weapon, but where's the other one? If it explodes, anything within 5 inches is counted as a strength D. And then I think something else further than that. But that's pretty good. Mini Titan, over half the price of other Titans that are out there. I mean, Orcs have a Forge World Titan. Eldar have essentially the Wraith Knight, which is a mini Titan. If this Imperial Knight can go into Imperial armies, then that's great for them, and then they get a mini Titan. Chaos Space Marines don't get a mini Titan. You have to go to Forge World to get stuff like that. Dark Eldar, they're pirates. They don't have Titans. Necrons, they've got Forge World stuff, and the giant things of Pyramids of Doom. Go to Forge World to get the biggest stuff, which is not cool. A lot of money if you're an Orc continued player. It's not fun for them. For me, continued player. But my Eldar army got a Wraith Knight, so I'm okay with that. Okay, next, rambling on. I've said before in some of my videos, I am a painter, then a gamer, and it goes in that order. And I'm a big fan of the way models look, and when I see a model I like, I'm thinking, right, how can I paint that? And I research on the internet colour schemes and images of all these things. And I'm thinking, like, right, I can do that. And then I look for if there's any tutorials out there to help me learn more skills. And then once I've done all the models, I will game. And I'm quite good at games, so That's quite lucky, but I don't game every day or every week or go to tournaments. I could, however, paint models every day and be happy. So I'm kind of... When the Tyranids came out, I needed only a few more things. And I've got them, and our league has started, and now I'm itching to do things. If I have half a day free, and the weather in England has been rubbish, it's been flooding everywhere, so raining is a great weather for modelers. And I'm itching like all over, because I just want to paint, but I don't have anything to paint. I've got my Eldar in their boxes, they're all done. I've got my Tyranids, they're all done. I've got my Space Wolves, I've got more than enough of them, and they're all done. I've got a couple of Necrons that I've done up with a Necron Rust theme, and they look gorgeous, but I don't know. Do I want to do something new or buy another Necron model? Now my opponent for our league has a Space Marine army, and it's just sitting there, and he doesn't really like it, and he's not going to play them again for at least a year and a half. So I have access to potentially borrowing / adopting this army, and I could do a Space Marine army. But I've never done Space Marines. I've never really liked Space Marines. I don't like the Centurions. I don't like how everyone likes Space Marines, and I think the Xenos army looks better and more unique. But the only Space Marine army I've done is Space Wolves, and that's because Vikings in space are cool. But if I was to do a Space Marine army, it got me thinking, what colour schemes or what army would I like to do? I mean, there's chapter tactics now. I don't know anything about them. Really, just bits and bobs. Like, so you could re-roll ones, or you could always challenge if you're Black Templars, or things like that. So if you're a Space Marine player and you're watching this, please comment below and let me know what the best colour scheme is. For example, is the Ultramarines blue, like royal blue and gold trim, like you think the ultimate Space Marine colour scheme? Or is it the white of the white scars on their zooming bikes? And also, what is the best army chapter tactics to take? And what models should I take? Just so I can get some ideas. Because his army comprises of about 40 tactical marines, 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators, a generic Lord person, Gent Captain, I think the name, 2 Dreadnoughts, 2 Drop Pods, and 10 Assault Marines, I think, is what he has. So if I did adopt it, I wouldn't need to buy a whole lot of new models. But please let me know how good Space Marines are. And the last thing I'm going to talk about now is my thoughts of the Tyranids. They've been out a month now, and I have got 2 games in. I've got a big 3,500 point game in, and I've got a 2,000 point game against Chaos. The Chaos one was in our league, and the Tyranids won. And in the 3,500 point game, the Tyranids won against the Tau. So on the bigger scale games, I think Tyranids are awesome. There's too much to take down. But in the 2,000 point games, it does get quite close, and you do start to fear for Synapse and your ability to take down vehicles. And I always say this when I come to the gaming board: oh, look, you've got this vehicle, and then my opponent says, but you've got monstrous creatures, you can smash, you can have strength 10 attacks. True, And that's great, and I do like the fact that Carnifexes are strength 9 standard, and if you can get them up the board to a vehicle, they're probably going to destroy it. But most of the strong heavy weapons of Tyranids are strength 6. I'm using a lot of Twin Link Devourers with Brain Leech Worms because they're amazing, and I find they can kill a lot of infantry. And I can find a lot of my models are designed to take down infantry, which makes sense because in the fluff they're looking for biomass to consume, put in their digestion pools, and then suck them up through straws for the hive fleet and wander off to the next planet or galaxy. You can't consume metal and plastic really, it's not biomass. They need to be put in the recycle bin. So that's not going to be great for the Tyranids. So yes, monstrous creatures can strength smash a vehicle, but when only 3 of your monstrous creatures can move over 6 inches, and what I mean by that is our flying monstrous creatures, which is the Winged Hive Tyrant, which you have to upgrade, the Harpy and the Hive Crone. And the Harpy and the Hive Crone have a lower armor save than the Hive Tyrant. So that's the only speed you have. Normal monstrous creatures move 6 inches and then you have to run them. And then 6 inches and then you have to run them. If you had a standard deployment and your opponent had everything on the back of his side of the board, he would have over... yeah, he would have over 30 odd inches. Because the middle of the board, you have 12 inches, and then it's your deployment. 12 inches, and it's their deployment. And then I think it's another 12 or something inches. So that's what, 36 inches if you're lined up there? So that's a 6-inch move. If you roll a 6 to run, you move 12, and then 24. Maybe charge, maybe not. So you're going to take 3, maybe 4 turns to get to him if he's standing still. Now, if he's something like a Land Raider, that's going to be hard to take down, because if you do hit it, he's probably going to move it an inch, and then you're going to need to hit it on freeze. And Carnifexes don't have a lot of attacks, even if they charge. So 2/3 of the time I think you're going to be hitting them, and then it's a 50-50 chance if you're going to penetrate them. And if you saw my last battle report, I can roll 1s all day long, but I can't roll high. So it's just another thing that's like, well, maybe they're not so strong against the big strong vehicles and tough vehicles. And I mean, if you're Necrons, for crying out loud, if you're quantum shielding, you have 13, essentially 13 armor all round. None of the weapons can do anything. Strength 6, you can't do anything. So you have to go into the close combat and get them. But again, Necrons don't just move 6 inches, they're skimmers, right? So they can... so you come close to them, they're going to, oh, and then I'm going to turbo boost. And then wait a turn, you come at them, and then they can shoot you. And then, oh, turbo boost. So you're just going to be running after them because they're faster than you. So a mechanised Necron list is going to be devastating. Or a lot of Land Raiders is going to hurt. So Tyranids, I think they're great at killing infantry, and 6th edition swung away from mechanised lists and went towards infantry because generally a lot of people think that vehicles are a bit rubbish now because you can glance a vehicle to death. Again, Necrons are great at that. Whereas you couldn't in 5th edition, and now it made vehicles a little easier to kill, so more people took infantry. Tyranids can take down infantry like that. They've got mass, units and lots of monstrous creatures to go nom 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 nom. So yeah, Tyranids are good. I'd give them a 7 out of 10 if you bring a competitive list, but if you don't, they're a 5 out of 10, maybe 6. They're not the strongest codex, in my opinion. And I didn't quite understand some of the changes either. But hey ho, it happened, and we'll see how they do. The next army that is playing in our league is Eldar versus Tyranids, and I'm playing as Eldar, and that's going to be quite devastating. This is to round it off. Tyranids are good, but they're not too good. I want to paint new models. Should I do Space Marines? What can I do to make my channel better for you? Oh, and I've been thinking about Knights. They're what, 300, nearly 400 points for one of them. I think the easiest way to take them down, because they've got 6 hull points, isn't plasma or melter or last cannon shots or loads of monstrous creatures coming at them. Just use lots of scarabs. Necron scarab, lots of units. A Necron scarab farm list of tomb spiders and Necron scarabs, and supported by Gorse weapons, are going to destroy the Knights, because they've got that entropic strike or entropic touch, where if they hit you and they roll a 4 up, they take one of your armour down, and it's only armour 12, I think. So it's going to be easy to take down if you have scarabs. So that would be a way of taking down Knights quickly, a random tangent. So Necrons are going to enjoy going against them, but everyone else are going to hate them because they're devastating. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, and I have been Xenovids, and I will see you and you on the next video.